Hello again, everyone. Welcome to Washington Gun Law TV. I am Washington Gun Law President William Kirk. Thanks for joining us. Hey, this is a call to action for all my brothers and sisters here in the home state of Washington. We got a lot of things going on in Olympia, and we need all of your help this coming week. We got a huge bill. It's Senate Bill 5232 that is up for public hearing coming up this week. And again, like I said, we need everyone to be involved. So let's spend a few very important minutes, get you guys all educated about why this is so important to all of you. So today, let's spend a few minutes and talk about, if you don't want a permission slip from this guy to exercise your rights, now is your last chance. Okay, so the issue we're talking about today is Senate Bill 5232. Now, before we get too far down the road, I do want to thank our good friends Dan and everyone else over at Sporting Systems down there in Vancouver for tipping us off about this. And again, I want to give a huge kudos to everyone down at Sporting Systems, Dan in particular. For those of you who don't know, these people have been fighting like holy hell for your Second Amendment rights, not only this legislative session, not only last legislative session, but if you go back, anytime there's been some crazy gun control legislation, Dan and all the good folks down at Sporting Systems have been down in Olympia fighting like hell for you. So kudos to them. Okay. Senate Bill 5232. What is that? Well, that is a companion bill, and I don't know if it's a companion bill to 1143 or 1144 in the House, and none of it really matters when it comes to the numbers on it, but here's what the deal is. This is a bill that, yeah, it extends out some statutory waiting periods, which is mildly problematic for sure, but, and this is the big thing, this bill creates a pre-purchasing licensing requirement, okay? This bill would require every Washington resident to go out and get a license from the state of Washington by going through the state-approved training, the state-approved proficiency exam. We do not even know what the cost of that is or the availability of that will be. And only after you've jumped through all of the hoops that the state wants you to jump through, then will they bestow upon you the privilege of having a license so that you can then go exercise a right, okay? And if you just took purchase a gun out of there and just said, and put any other fundamental right there, you know, vote, speak freely, go to church, be free from unreasonable searches and seizures, not be forced to incriminate yourself. Any one of these things, you can see the absurdity of this law. And when Governor Inslee, and what's even more offensive, the Attorney General Ferguson wants to talk about equating this to a driver's license, a fishing license, a hunting license, even my bar license, okay? No, that is a privilege, okay? None of that is guaranteed to us through the United States Constitution. We actually have to go out and earn those privileges, and there are ways that we can lose those privileges, okay? Fundamental rights are entirely different, and that's what we're talking about here. Now, this is the important part, okay? Listen up. The public hearing is happening in front of the Washington State Senate Law and Justice Committee on Thursday, February 2nd at 8 a.m. Once again, that is a hearing on Senate Bill 5232, Thursday, February 2nd, 8 a.m. at the Senate Law and Justice Committee. Now, Dan at Sporting Systems was kind enough to give us all the information that you need about how to sign up ahead of time and all of that. I'm going to put that all down in the description box below, okay? So whether you want to submit your comments in writing, whether you want to actually try to testify virtually, or whether you want to get to Olympia and testify against this atrocious piece of legislation, now you will know how to do it. Now listen, for those of you who geek out on this channel all the time, you know that we've been covering this exact same legislative scheme in Oregon, and it has been nothing short of an unadulterated disaster. Oregon tried to implement this law and realized that, well, they had no infrastructure in place at all for it to be implemented. But for a really good judge in Harney County, Oregon, the citizens of Oregon State would absolutely be suffering through a complete abolishment of their Second Amendment rights until the licensing regime was somewhat functional. Okay, if you take a look at what's going on here in Senate Bill 5232 or any of the companion House bills, 1143, 1144, there's no funding in this thing. There's no infrastructure. There's no design on how to set this up. It's like, let's just get this licensing regime out there. Let's stick it to the lawful and responsible gun owners, and we'll figure the rest of it out later. So once again, that is Senate Bill 5232, a pre-purchasing licensing requirement. Any of your friends who think this is a good idea, just have that little debate with them and say, I want you to just take the words buy a gun out and put the words vote. or go to church in and tell me what you think about it again. So Senate Bill 5232, public hearing in front of the Senate Law and Justice Committee Thursday, February 2nd at 8 a.m. Information on how to participate in whichever fashion you desire is in the description box below. If you have any more questions about Senate Bill 5232 or anything else related to what's left of our Second Amendment rights, you guys know the drill. You can always contact us here at WashingtonGunLaw.com, or you can call us directly at 425-765-0487. Now, in the meantime, let's remember, part of being a lawful and responsible gun owner, like we talk about all the time here at Washington Gun Law, is to know what the law is in every situation and how it applies to you in any instance that you may find yourself. Until next time, thanks for watching and stay safe.